Okay, so we're gonna ignore the elephant in the room, which is I have platinum blonde hair now. And instead, we're gonna be talking about something a little bit more serious today. So I found this out maybe a month and a half-ish ago, maybe a little bit longer, honestly. But a subscriber of mine sent me a link of this video along with the timestamp that was like, hey, Chloe, I think this person plagiarized your essay. And then I looked at the video and I watched it and I was like, oh, this is definitely plagiarism. And then I posted on my community feed and as well as on my Instagram like, hey, I think someone might have plagiarized my essay. Immediately afterwards, I got this long apology letter from said person, and that video that I screen recorded has now since been deleted from YouTube. Alright, so today in this video, I'm going to be basically walking you guys through, showing you guys kind of evidence, and also reading out the apology that was sent to me. But just to keep things clear, I'm not going to be revealing this person's identity. I might take steps, probably will take steps with the university just to see if this person ended up submitting the essay to the university, in which case I don't know what the consequences would be. This person may or may not be expelled. I kind of hope not, but I do hope that there's some sort of like disciplinary action, maybe like a warning letter. TLDR, it's not really up to me, right? Plagiarism is probably like one of the worst things that you can do. And this person did it on his Common App essay, and this person put it on YouTube, which is kind of like, why would you do that? Anyhow, I'll walk you through my own thoughts at the very end of the video, but let's start with the actual evidence. This is what the person wrote. Sitting at the conference, I realized that the UN is, in a way, the world's most successful empathy-based communications case study. Through emphatic communication, a nation's individual needs could translate, inspire, and motivate other powers to help. This is a deed I can learn from, a deed that I can only apply to my own communication. This paragraph is okay, right? It's not very similar to mine. I mean, I had similar sentiments, but it wasn't that similar to my own. It's not that similar. The real one is this next one. So, I made Model UN conferences my testing ground. In one M1 debate on migrant smuggling, I faced pressure by Russia and Pakistan's passive stance and aggressive ad hominem, leaving me wanting to set their unjustified claims into hellfire. Yet I knew I needed to veer away from aggression to be a good negotiator. I mirrored how delegates among the club delivered their address by manipulating their tone, content, and position to promote their represented interest. Using believing in united forces and cordial discussion, I responded with tuned wording and tone. After acknowledging each viewpoint and connecting with my own, both nations found common ground to cooperate. Alright, so that's the paragraph, right? And then you would have my paragraph. So, I wrote, I made English class and Model UN conferences my testing ground, framing questions and stances with different styles that would soften my inquiries. So, this person cut out the part from like the framing questions to like soften inquiries, but the first part's pretty much identical. And then my paragraph is, in one MON debate on child trafficking, I faced Russia and Congo's passive-aggressive ad hominems. I felt a strong urge to set their unjustified claims ablaze with spoken hellfire. Yet I knew I needed to veer away from aggressiveness to be a good delegate and give them some face to be a good negotiator. I mean, okay, this person changed Congo to Pakistan, right? And instead of set ablaze with spoken hellfire, it became set their unjustified claims into a hellfire. And then the next one is literally the same. I wrote, yet I knew I needed to veer away from aggressiveness to be a good delegate. And this person wrote, yet I knew I needed to veer away from aggression to be a good negotiator. And then afterwards, I mirrored how delegates among the club delivered their address by manipulating their tone, content, and position to promote their represented interest. And mine was, so instead of a fervent inferno, I responded with tuned wording using cordial discussion, which is literally the exact same thing, except this person moved it to the ending of the sentence, and believing in the possibility of dialogue. First, acknowledge their viewpoints before stating my own, publicly paying ideas tribute before sneaking a question in return. So, the tuned wording and tone, like I responded with tuned wording and then using cordial discussion and yada yada. And this person wrote, using blank and cordial discussion, I responded with tuned wording and tone. Anyhow, so this is honestly for you guys' benefit. In my perspective, this is definitely plagiarism. So if it were just a few words, like if this person just copied tuned wording, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Like maybe I used like a good adjective, they wanted to use it, right? But the entire like half of the paragraph from I made model UN conferences all the way up until manipulating their tone content is identical to mine. That's like 50 words, right? So if you really wanted to count it, like just taking the paragraph as a whole, that's like what, 100 words? Your entire essay is like what, 600 words? That's a lot of plagiarism. Anything less than I think like a 92% like similarity rate would be considered plagiarism. I think it's like 90% for when I was writing my thesis. But oh my lord, yeah. Alright, so that was a bit of a... So I published my video called My UChicago Personal Statement on September 20th of 2019. So this person put it 6 months ago, so I mean, I filmed this a month ago, so I'm going to say like 7-8 months ago. So just, it's very obvious that my video was up first, okay? And then his video was up. That's point one, right? My video was very obviously first published. Second of all, this person immediately sent me an apology letter after I put on a very ambiguous, just kind of like thought, just like, hey, I think someone on YouTube plagiarized my essay. And this person immediately sent me an apology letter to my YouTube email. And this person also acknowledged that like I've been a long-time fan of yours, I've been watching your videos for a while. So second point, it's pretty obvious. And this person knows it as well. And this person put on a video reading this essay out. Alright, so honestly, I can't show this part because it'll be really obvious who it is, but this person commented on this essay, specifically this paragraph, and like those sentences like, oh, I faced Russia, and what do you write, like Pakistan's passive-aggressive ad hominems, and they were saying something along the lines of, oh yeah, this wasn't technically from one MUN experience, I kind of like pieced together multiple different parts, so it wasn't entirely true. It's kind of cringe when I look back on it. I mean, in all fairness, it's a good paragraph, if I might say so myself, right? But just like watching someone else comment on a paragraph claiming to be your own, well, it's not, and it's mine, it just kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. But ultimately, I still decided not to release their identity. I don't think it would do much help to this person to dox them. Alright, so now let's read the apology letter that I was sent. So I will skip over the parts where this person included their actual paragraphs because I just read it. But yeah, so it says, Dear Chloe, I'm writing this letter in response to a post you made about a potential plagiarism. I am a longtime subscriber of yours and watch almost all of your videos. One of my audience DM'd me about your post and pointed to a paragraph I wrote in last December, so I looked into my past essays. Here's what I wrote. And then this person like inserted their paragraphs, which I just read. I proceeded to compare your Colin F. essay that you shared via YouTube with mine, and I immediately see the problem. The above paragraph is ridiculously similar, if not completely identical to yours. And at this point I was like, okay, well at least he, like, you know, realized it. To be completely honest, I don't know why and how I put your exact words and phrasing into the essay that I wrote. I think I'm either too short on time to finish my essay at that time and just conveniently take your words into my essay, or it's just a complete stupidity act of me. Regardless of my intention, I'm taking full responsibility for my mistakes and choices I've made. So the part where this person wrote, I think I'm either too short on time to finish my essay and conveniently took your words, kind of, I mean, it's very obviously an instance of plagiarism. So this didn't do too well. The part where this person recognized that like I'm taking full responsibility did help a bit. I was like, okay, well, at least he knows. I'm deeply guilty and completely humiliated by my past actions. This is really one of the most disrespectful things that I've ever done. I've already removed the video and going to check myself. Again, I have no right to take words that are not mine and claim as my own, I'm assuming. I apologize for my mistake. The essay that I write is a reminder of how I failed to become a student with basic academic integrity, and I'll do better by not committing such an act again. Yeah, so the video is gone. And at this point, you guys have all the information that I have other than the identity of this person. And I was faced with two choices, right? Multiple choices. I could, one, not make a video about this at all. I could, two, make a video and report his name, like declare him to the internet who this person is. And three, I could report this person to his college. So, I am a little bit undecided on the last one. I will probably write in. It may get ignored, maybe not, but I will probably write in. I don't know if this person ultimately used this essay to apply to the college that they're at. So if not, if they didn't use this essay, then I guess it's not an act of plagiarism. Technically, I mean, they still plagiarized for the other colleges that they got in, which is kind of disgusting if you think about it, because someone else could have gotten in and went to these colleges, but this person got in using, you know, at least in part, someone else's words. But they didn't end up going, right? So they probably will get kicked out of college if they didn't submit this essay, but I will leave that up to the college. That's not my business. That's this person and the college's business. So the reason why I decided not to dox is because I don't think it would do this person any benefit, and I don't want to be in a position where I'm being like villainized in this situation for pointing this out. But also, just to be completely honest, I think because so many other people, like he mentioned that one of his subscribers DM'd him, I was DM'd by another subscriber, pretty sure the internet will know. And very sadly, there's nothing really I can do about that. But I, weirdly enough, will ask you guys not to send him so much hate on the internet. I would rather you direct your energies towards why I decided to make this video at all if I'm not going to dox this person, right? And the reason is because of, honestly, partially his last paragraph, because that really aligns with what I thought. So as you guys know, I've been working on a startup that is all about putting together all of this really amazing information, data sets, and essays from people who've gotten into college to help people who haven't, right? So the point of this is to give access to international students, to just underprivileged students who don't have access to college counselors at like a really cheap price, the ability to improve their essays. Of course, the biggest question with that is plagiarism, and that's one of the biggest things my team has been working on. So to see that my own essay was plagiarized is kind of like a wake-up call, but also it pushes me to understand further that like this startup needs to exist. Because once you have gathered all of the data, like all the YouTubers I've been working on to try to get their data sets, all like the accomplished people that I know and have been like honored to be friends with, once I get their essays and their information, once we have a data set that we can actually cross-reference, anyone who uses these essays online will be able to check for plagiarism much easily, right? From a college perspective, they probably use like what, Turnitin or something, but they're not going to know if someone plagiarized the essay unless that person also applied to that same college in the past. And it makes sense, I guess, to take my essay because I only applied to one college and I got in and I didn't apply to anything else. So my essay was safe, right? But so if I establish a startup like that with all of these data sets, plagiarism would be a lot less rampant, at least hopefully. So the reason why I'm making this video is to tell you guys that there really is no point in plagiarizing. If you think about it, the words that he took were honestly not that big of a deal, right? It wasn't like some like very like enlightening idea or some like amazing like vocabulary or something. I mean, it was okay, it was pretty good, but it was honestly just because of convenience. I'm gonna guess that this person probably procrastinated until the very last minute to write their essays, and then just ran out of time and searched it online or just like remembered an essay and decided to take it, right? So it's entirely a result of your laziness and not your inability to write. That's what pisses me off the most. It's one thing if you're like unable to write good English, but there's so many avenues to improve it, right? You can use Grammarly, you can go online, read other people's essays, brainstorm your own, write it. I have whole guides on the internet. So many YouTubers have so many guides on how to cultivate your own ideas. So at this point, there's really no excuse for you to take someone else's words for your own unless you're in a time crunch, all right? So I'm going to read the last paragraph now to kind of like wrap up this video. Lastly, you mentioned in one of your recent videos that you have kickstarted a startup dedicated for college essays or areas related to that. I feel truly, truly sorry for how my actions made you question your initial motive to start this platform at all. True. I initially post my essays of sharing video, aiming nothing but to share and help upcoming students. Well, that's what I do as well. I really respect what you're trying to do for the same group of people that I'm also trying to help, so please by any means continue to achieve what you envision for your startup. The last thing that I want to see is how my mistake affects your decision or your impression on the whole hashtag national/international student community. Please feel free to talk about my mistake on your channel and may as well let my egregious act remind other students of the consequences if committing such an act. So, I mean, thank you, I guess, for kind of giving me permission to talk about it. It does put my mind at ease that this person has come to terms with what they've done, just why I'm also able to make this video without feeling like, I don't know, like a villain in this case, which, if anything, I'm not. But yeah, so that pretty much concludes the video. don't plagiarize is what I'm trying to say with this video, and what this person is trying to say as well. It's not worth it. It pains me to think of how many people could have taken any number of YouTubers' essays and wrote about it, and no one would have ever known because no one would have reported it. Or maybe they're not dumb enough to make a YouTube video about it, so no one would have found out, right? And there's nothing we can do about that, right? Like, the plagiarism checking system isn't going to be perfect. We're probably going to miss out on, like, a vast majority of people who do plagiarize, because they're probably going to find some very smart ways to plagiarize, but I'm telling you that it's just not worth it. You already live with imposter syndrome when you get into a good college, or you feel like you don't belong here, you feel like you got here by chance. It's even worse when you actually have evidence to yourself that you don't belong here because you took someone else's words and someone else's ideas to get to the place where you are. So don't do that to yourself. It's really not worth it. The amount of self-doubt that college students feel, the amount of pressure you're under, this is just going to impact you much, much longer than this current, like an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours it's going to save you to use someone else's words rather than just like brainstorm your own. So I hope this video serves as like a good reminder to everybody. But also, please don't plagiarize. I mean, there's nothing really I can do, but I'm telling you, if you really believe in having a good education, you really believe in, not wasting your parents' money, not wasting your own time, you put 12, I guess, there you go. Alright, hope you guys had a great new year. Bye-bye, I'll see you guys next week, and I'll give you guys an update on what I decide to do ultimately. Bye!